Well, all right, here we are. It is week 8. It's gone by kind of fast. Thank you for your papers from last week. And again, the final paper, the people group profile, is due this week, so I'll look forward to having those. If you have any final questions on those, again, email me at spcarter@samford.edu. spcarter@samford.edu. And I'll be happy to interact with you regarding those people group profiles. Well, we've been walking through the whole strategy process and people group research, ethnographic research, and we're learning our context, and now we're gaining a vision for what we want to happen and kind of the foundations of that vision. We've looked at setting the goals and taking action steps and employing healthy methods in reaching our goals and in order to fulfill our end vision. Now it's time to execute. Without execution, strategic planning remains theory. I'm a visionary. I love the brainstorming. I love the formulating of strategy. But if I left it right there, I've done nothing. Strategic planning without execution is nothing. And so it's time to execute that strategy. So continuing to communicate with team and keeping the team on track, launching, after communicating the vision, now launching the strategy, launching those methods to reach the goals, putting all that in motion. Now, first and foremost, surrounding it on the bottom, the top, just wrapping everything from the planning in prayer to the execution in prayer. The formulating of strategy is a prayerful process being led by the Holy Spirit, but so is the execution. The execution of our strategies is also a prayer-filled process. Because things are constantly changing, and we're not simply trying to market a product. We are operating in a physical realm, but with spiritual means, and there's so much going on in the spiritual realm that we don't know about. We are serving a master who is sovereign. He's got his eye on everything all at once, and we've got to be in prayer throughout the execution process, because we might have to change something at any time. It might be the right thing to do, but the wrong time to do it. And so it's discernment, constantly just listening and hearing from the Lord, discerning what to do and when to do it. All the while, knowing our vision. That vision's got to be clear in us. We've got to communicate it constantly and clearly to our team members and those that we are serving with. And then our goals, just constantly working through those goals. As we have talked about and will talk about, just making the adjustments as needed, but stay focused. We had the saying on the field when we were serving as missionaries, keep the main thing the main thing. Again, we're in the process of execution. We're implementing our strategy. Opportunities come up, and some of them are very good opportunities. And we need to pray and figure out discern which ones of those opportunities are not only good opportunities, but opportunities we should pursue. We can get so distracted doing a lot of good things that we actually lose focus on doing the main thing. So, keep the main thing the main thing. Know your resources. Okay? Don't try to do something the team is not equipped to do. We talked about this a little bit in the last lecture. Here we are in the execution process. Again, things come up. We make changes. Opportunities come up. We're implementing our strategy. We are taking our action steps to reach our goals. But we've got to realize that we can't do a goal. We can't pursue a goal. We can't take action steps just to simply fulfill those. If our team is not equipped to take a step, we don't need to take that step just yet. And so I'm thinking through maybe a church planting. When we're church planting and we've got our core team together and we're launching the church and we're moving through the process of growing that church. And there comes the time to register the church or constitute the church. And then we're having our services. And again, it's just it's knowing what our team is equipped to do. That core team. Don't outkick your coverage. Don't let the vine grow if the structure isn't there. We just have to make sure that we know our resources and know what our team is capable of as we move through our action steps and goals. Very much related to that is right people doing the right things. Keep the right people doing the right things. We talk a lot about this on the church staff that I'm currently serving on. We talk about a bus and pastor's driving the bus, and he's got that bus full, and everybody on the bus is gifted and talented differently, different personalities, but we're all moving the same direction. Pastor's driving the vision. But you know what? All that can be in place, but people might not be sitting in the right seat on the bus. So we constantly have to evaluate as we execute that are the right people doing the right things? Are the right people sitting in the right seat on the bus as we move down the road? When the right people are doing the right things, man, we are executing our strategy so much simpler, so much easier, so much quicker. Not necessarily flawlessly. We're gonna make mistakes, but again, just staying focused, making sure that we're doing the right thing. The main thing, we are operating within our means, and we have the right people doing the right things. Keep it simple. There's no need to complicate things, and we all know the acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And again, simple is better. Simple keeps it streamlined. Simple keeps us heading that direction in a more aerodynamic way, so to speak. And then problem solve as you go. Okay, we're going to face problems. We're going to make mistakes while we are executing, and we're going to talk about this in the next chapter. But as we execute, we're constantly evaluating. Problems come up, problems arise, we lose a team member. How are we going to solve that? Things happen in the context in which we're serving, whether it's a political issue or a social issue, things happen. How are we going to make these adjustments? Maybe funding gets cut. How are we going to make those adjustments? So problem solve as you go. And as a leader, we are always looking ahead, we're always evaluating ahead. And so sometimes we can nip problems in the bud, or at least we foresee them coming. We can begin to make adjustments so that it's not so painful when that problem does come up. You've heard the phrase, just be flexible. It's a term we hear a lot in missions orientation, whether it's a short-term trip or career orientation. Be flexible. I want to challenge you with this. I want to challenge you with not just being flexible. I want to challenge you with being fluid. Flexibility versus fluidity. Everything is always changing around us. Things are always moving around us. We have our goals, we have our envision, and we have to learn to move with the flow. And that's being fluid, not simply being flexible. Because flexibility implies we're staying in one place. We have to bend and whatever else as we're being tested. Fluidity allows us then to be a little bit freer, and we can actually follow the climate in a way. Okay, we're not talking about compromising biblical or ethical values, but we are talking about being fluid within our context in order to remain relevant and to keep our bus driving down the road. Okay, next up will be our final chapter, and so I'll see you in just a moment on that side.